morning, man. Good morning. Hold on real quick. Let me get myself together, man. Good morning. Today's a good day, man. It's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I had to think, I'm not even keeping track of days and shit. I don't keep track of days at all. I just be in my own little world. But good morning, you know what I mean? You see, I'm here again. Man. I'm always gonna be here. You ain't gotta worry about it. When it comes to me, I'm definitely gonna be here again. Show up daily, man. That's for sure, for sure. But yeah, today we just gonna vibe out. We just gonna talk. You know what I mean? I really don't know where I'm gonna go with it, but I got a couple things in my mind that I just kind of want to discuss. But other than that, I really don't really know where I'm gonna go with it today. I just got a lot of things in my mind. You know, I just, been thinking about a lot of stuff. It's really crazy out here, to be honest. Like my brain just really been going really fast and just been going all over the place. It's like, it's kind of like, you know, kind of tough to focus and shit, to be honest. Because I'm just sitting here, I just really been doing a lot of research, listening to a lot of people, reading a lot of things, just finding new ways, you know, on how to make things happen in this world for me. And it's just like, damn, I'm kind of really like unlocking a lot of things, a lot like taking keys in the world and unlocking information that I never even knew that was really like in front of me. What's going on, Bubba? Good morning. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Good morning. But yeah, I'm sitting there. I'm like, damn. Like yesterday, I really got on like YouTube, right? I just really got lost in just looking at businesses, bruh. And I'm like, damn, on things that I have interest of. And it's like, there's so many ways to really make money, bro. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, I ain't even know that there's so many businesses that you wouldn't even think that you can really make money. I'm sitting here reading about what's going on. Good morning, Warren. Good morning. Good morning. Hit that like button. I'm sitting here, right, looking about businesses. Like people are like, send you 100, send you 100. Where you gonna send me 100 at? What you mean you gonna send me 100 tomorrow? Send me 100 where? You talking about cash or likes? What you talking about? I don't know, man. If you're talking about cash, I appreciate it, man. If you're talking about cash, I definitely will appreciate it, brother. But yeah, I'm sitting here like, damn, you can make a business out of anything. Like, you really can. I'm just sitting there like, damn, like I'm looking at some shit and you really don't even need a lot of people to really make a lot of money, bro. Like you really don't need. I was reading this book where they was just saying like, you kind of only need like 1,000 people to really live a good life, man. Like, blessings. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Cash, how you gonna send me it though? How you gonna send me 100 cash though? I appreciate it if you really do it. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna. You know what I mean? You will have to let me know if you really serious or not. But I ain't really banking on it. But if it happens, it happens. That'll be good. That'll be a great blessing from you, bruh. Just to be honest. But I'm sitting here looking like, damn, you don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of people around you to make a lot of money. Yeah, appreciate it. You know what I mean? It's something, you know what I mean? Something decent, man. Red flannel, hat to match, something decent. Centennial, good morning, good morning. Hit that like button, Centennial. Appreciate it. How do I want you to send it? I don't know, man. Cash at me, I guess. Yeah, cash at me. Exactly, cash at me. Cash at me. Hold on. Let me see. I'm new at this real quick. Hold on. I don't even know how to use pen shit on here. Let me see. Cash at me at, let me see. Twins City TWINCITY God GAWD. Cash at me there if you serious, Warren. You know what I mean? If you really serious, cash at me. That's my cash app. It's me. It's a picture of me and everything. So you know it's not like no fake. It's really me. You gonna see this beautiful face right here, man. You gonna see this face right here, bruh. But yeah, those are people that's in here. If y'all not subscribed to my channel, subscribe too. Appreciate it. Y'all already gave me the likes, man. But subscribe if you ain't subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that, man. Let's come on. I'm on a quest to get to 200. Let's go. Let's get them subs out. It don't cost no money to sub. It don't cost no money to sub. I'm trying to get to 200 by the end of this month. That's my goal for this month, man. I'm trying to get to 200. I'm already at like 170 or something. And my morning's going good. My morning's going good, Gage. How about yourself, man? Good morning to you, man. Good morning to you. Blessings. Good morning. Good morning. But yo, check it. Like, I was just reading this book, right? And it was just like saying, just to live, like, have a nice little lifestyle, you just need like 1,000 people. Like, 1,000 people, bro. I'm like, damn. Oh yeah, I come on here every day, Warren. You ain't gotta worry about that. I'll be on here every day, bro. For sure, for sure. Hit that sub if you ain't subbed though, my guy. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. I appreciate it if you hit that sub if you didn't already. But yeah, I'm sitting there like, you only need like 1,000 people to kind of have a good lifestyle, bro. A tour of your house. My house is decent, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on. This is where I'm at right now, my little setup. You know what I mean? Hold on. Monitor playing 2K while I'm chilling, you know what I mean? Posters, you know what I mean? Some slight TV, you know what I mean? Decent right now, bro. I don't really be in my living room right now. Oh, hold on. Damn. My bad, you know what I mean? Something slight, bro. Decent. One day I might show you the crib, you know what I mean? Do a little MTV Cribs episode, man. To show you how I'm living, you know what I mean? I'm living just like, I'm not living better than anybody else, and I'm not living worse than anybody else. I'm living good. I'm living to what my standards are for myself, I don't live to impress anybody else but myself, to be honest. But yeah, back to what I was saying. I'm sitting there like, damn, if you got at least 1,000 people, core people that mess with you, at least $10, you know what I mean? That's like 100,000. That's good money in some areas, bro. That's good money. Besides New York and maybe LA, you know what I mean? In any other section of your city, that's good money. That's great money, bruh. That's great money. And I'm like, damn, we all might send you 10, but probably not. That's cool, bro. I ain't, you know what I mean? If you send it, you send it. If you don't, you don't, bruh. I appreciate it if you do send it, you know what I mean? I just appreciate you here having a conversation with me, bruh. That's more important than the money, bro, to be honest. If you can send some blessings, send some blessings. If you don't, you don't. Long as you here and we vibing, it's cool. That's cool. I ain't worried about it, bruh. But back to what I was saying, back to regular scheduling programming. But I was sitting there like, okay, cool, appreciate it. I appreciate it, bruh. If you do it, like I said. But yeah, I'm sitting there like, we all got these crazy expectations of what we trying to really do. Like, oh, I want 1 million. I want, you know what I mean? It's astronomical numbers. When it's like, bruh, we need to really shoot for like achievable goals. You know what I mean? It's cool to have like these astronomical goals. You know what I mean? That's what you should aim for. But before you get there, we gotta start small. We gotta aim at, let's just get core fan base and then supply to them and cater to them. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna love you for who you are, and that's how you could really sustain a nice lifestyle. You dig? So that's why I'm sitting there like reading. I'm like, damn, I never really thought about that. You know what I mean? Like, instead of me trying to cater to a lot of people, let me sit here and grind to do my YouTube and show my life and just grind to cater to the core people that mess with me, you know? Because I know there's a lot of people like me in this world, men and women, you know what I mean? So I'm sitting there like reading that. I'm like, damn, that's that's something that I'm aiming for. Like, you know, now it kind of makes sense why YouTube said they want you to have 1,000 subs. You know what I mean? Because I was sitting there wondering in my mind, like, why do YouTube say that before you get monetized, you need 1,000, at least 1,000 subs, and then the 4,000 watch hours or whatever? You know, I'm sitting there like, where did they even come up with that type of number, like that type of math? You know? But then when I got to researching and reading the book, I'm like, damn it, that makes sense. Cause that 1,000 people that you have can make you 100,000. What kind of iPhone I got, bro? I got like the 15 or something, bro. I'm not really into phones like that, bro. Whatever. I got like the 15 or something like that, bro. I do need to get a new phone though, for sure. This phone be acting up. I don't really got that much storage in this phone, so I gotta get a better phone with better storage, to be honest. But right now, I'm just gonna thug it out with this phone, bro. You know what I mean? One day at a time. You know what I mean? It works. It ain't got no cracked screen, and ain't nothing really wrong with this phone except I don't have no storage, bro. That bothers me more than anything, that I don't have no storage, cause I can't really do anything without storage. You know, in all honesty. But yeah, I'm sitting there like, cause you need any money? I mean, of course, I always need money. Who don't need money? You know what I mean? Money is how you survive. Money is like air. You need it to survive, bruh. You need it to live. Hell yeah, I always need money. You know what I mean? But I don't be begging. I tell you that. I'm a man. I don't be begging. Nobody should beg. You know what I mean? But if you here to support me, hell yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with it, with a little bit of support, for sure. You know what I mean? But I don't do no begging. I don't do that at all. Nobody should do that, you know what I mean? We all got 24 hours. Get up off our ass and sit there and make money. My son is on the phone, but he's at school right now. Oh yeah, that's cool. I understand that, yeah. Tell him to pay attention, man. Pay attention in school. He's not at school right now. Oh, he's not at school right now. Oh yeah. Okay. What, they got the day off or something? I don't know what's going on in school. I ain't been in school in years. I don't know what's going on. Only time I know that I live by a school actually. So only time I know that school's going on is when I hear them outside, the bus and all that, and kids outside playing by the park and all that. But yeah. But you, my son, even begging for. Nah, don't be begging for no subs, bro. Warren Alexander, don't beg for no subs. I'm telling you that right now. Just be authentic. Just be your true self. You know what I mean? People gonna gravitate towards you if you be yourself. You know, don't try to be like nobody else. Don't try to be like me. Be Warren. You know what I mean? My name Danilo. You know what I mean? I can't be nobody else but me. That's why people gravitate towards me and give me subs. Man, I'm an unk, man. That's what I am. I'm unk status. I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 30s, man. That's it. You know? I'm in my 30s. But yeah, don't be sitting here begging. Be you, bruh. Be you for sure. Be authentic to who you are, and then, show the true you, show the true you, man. Cause nobody likes to see somebody living a facade, you know what I mean? Nobody likes that, you know? Cause that just shows that you fake, you know what I mean? It's time for a lot of people to show the real, you know what I mean? Be their true self. Like me, I'm my true self, I sit there and I have flaws. I go through things like everybody else, I have emotions, I have feelings, you know what I mean? I have ups, I have downs, everything is not perfect, you know what I mean? Some days are better than others, some are worse than others, But at the end of the day, long as I get up and I got, God wakes me up, it's another day. So I don't really be complaining and bitching. That's one thing that gives me strength, you know? That's one of the key things that gives me strength. Like I don't sit here and complain and cry and none of that. I'm a man for one, you know what I mean? I'm not supposed to be wearing my emotions on my sleeve. That's for kids and females, you know? So I move strategic. I pick myself up, But when I do go through things, I sit there, I think about it, you know what I mean? Lick my wounds and keep it pushing, bruh. I keep it pushing, lick my wounds, keep it pushing, you know what I mean? Because as long as I keep pushing, you never know, you know what I mean? The day can always be better than your last. Make your day better than your last, Because you don't know what's going to go on. Hell no, I just found somebody stole $1,000 from my bank account. Yeah, man. Sorry to hear that, bruh. I'm sorry to hear that. But, don't let that keep you down, shit. Use it for a strength that, you know what I mean? You lost 1,000, use that, go ahead and make you 2,000, you know what I mean? Replace the 1,000 that you just lost and get an extra 1,000, you know what I mean? Go ahead and do that, Yeah, that's cool, That's what's up. I'm proud of you, man. Don't be just spending all your money all at once, man. Save your money, man. If you can't save money, you're useless. Like, for real, If you can't save money, you're useless, you mean? You gotta have money, man. You gotta have money. You gotta know how to make money. You gotta know how to make money. That's why I'm sitting here being on here, talking to y'all. And it's not just about the money. It's just about just what I love to do, you know what I mean? I do it regardless, talk to people and everything, going about my business. Bye, Warren. Have a nice day. Appreciate you in the chat, man. I just sit here and talk all day, you know what I mean, to people and give people advice, you know what I mean? I'm just giving my testimony on what I'm doing, what I'm going through, to show y'all what's going on in my brain, my thoughts, my process, That's it. It's like a diary for me, to be honest, you know what I mean? I don't be writing things down. This is a visual diary for me to chop it up and see and tell you what's going on in my life, you know what I mean? I'm from Minnesota, Minneapolis. You see the Twins, the TC, that's the Twin City, you know what I mean? That's something that y'all know about me for right now, I'll probably tell y'all more later on, but, right now I'm on a journey, man. I'm on a journey of working for myself, creating businesses, you know what I mean? A lot of streams of income, you know what I mean? I'm working on creating a lot of streams of income by doing things that I love to do, you know what I mean? I love to get on YouTube. I love to sit here right now. This is like, we talking about business, life, you know what I mean? Finances, money, all that, you know what I mean? That's what this channel's really about, you know what I mean? The real of the real, no fabrication, just straight up about life, what information that I find out on here, and while I'm not on here, and when I come on here, I'm going to share it with y'all, you know what I mean? Because there's no gatekeeping with me. Because what I got going on for me, what I'm making money, you know what I mean, by doing something that I love to do, I ain't got no problem sharing that with somebody else. What's up, Eli? What's going on? What's going on, Eli? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on? How you doing? Good morning, good morning. But yeah, glad you popped up in the chat. But yeah, I'm sitting here. Yeah, you was in here, you was in my chat like a couple days ago. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Of course, man. There's only a certain people, you know what I mean, that come up in here. If I see you more than once, of course I'm gonna remember you. What's going on, Eli? How you doing? But yeah, I'm here to just let y'all know, man. There's many ways to actually change your life, man. Like you don't have to subscribe to the regular formula of what society says to do, like work a job and work for people. You gotta there's ways to change your life. Just do things that you love to do, like turn your hobbies into money, you know, support your, if you got a job, use your job to support your, your passion. Like do that, Stop sitting there being scared, for real, for real. But like I said, like when I'm not on here, I'm always studying and I'm always researching. I'm always finding new skills and schemes of things and avenues to like create income. You know, like I'm not sitting here. What's going on, Ike? What's going on? Good morning. I'm not sitting here waiting for somebody to bring me food, bring me money. You know what I mean? Like by trading my time and going somewhere to get paid, and you don't even get paid that day. You get paid 2 weeks or every Friday, whatever. You know what I mean? Like you never, the money that you work a job that you made that day, you don't even be getting that money that day. You know what I mean? You don't even get to get that money that day sometimes. Hit that like button, Ike, and so if you can, appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it, Ike. But yeah, you know what I mean? There's so many things, bro. Like I gotta, I got a list of things that I'm working on trying to achieve, bro. That I'm going to achieve. Not try, like I'm going to achieve, you know what I mean? You gotta make sure you use the right words when you speaking things into existence, So it ain't no try, it's I'm going to make it happen, Like I'm going to make this YouTube happen. I've been working on it every day. I come on here live every day around the same time and talk to y'all and vibe out with y'all, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I do, like, cause this is what I love to do. So it's like I understand that I gotta put the work in. I gotta, maintain and put the pain in right now. Cause even when somebody's not looking, you still gotta put that work in. Even when nobody looking, you still gotta put that work in. And then put in the work where then people show up and want to know who you are. That's all I'm doing right now. Go ahead and put that work in until somebody asks you who you are. You know what I mean? That's basically what I sit here and I do. Like, I don't be sitting on my ass bullshitting all day. Like, hell no. Like, I get on here, I wake up, eat my breakfast, read some books, watch a couple videos, do certain things until my time frame of coming here on live to talk to y'all. And then I talk to y'all, get my reps in for an hour, and then get off and go back to the real world to better my future. So then when I can come back to the next day on my other live and show y'all what I've done. That's how I'm living my life. You know what I mean? I'm living my life to better myself and show people how I'm progressing. That's all I'm doing. You know what I mean? Not to shit on nobody and tell them what I have and all that, because that doesn't mean nothing. You know what I mean? It's just material. All this shit is just material. There's nothing in here that nobody can't get. All it is, you have to dedicate your time to it. You know what I mean? Whatever your craft is, this is my craft. Sitting here communicating and talking to people in the world around about what's going on. This is what I'm doing. I'm working on my craft right now. It ain't perfect, but it's getting better. I know it's getting better because when I sit here and I talk to y'all, it just flows and it's like natural to me to talk to people and talk on this camera and just, it's easy. It ain't stressed. It ain't, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about anything. Everything is going smooth, you know, and I like that. Uh, Going on, Colossal Coins. Hit that like button. Sub if you're new. What's going on? But yeah, this is what I'm doing. Just this is exercise for me. I gotta make sure I get my hour exercise in on here, talking to people, just talking on live stream and just, you know what I mean? That's it. That's what I'm doing. I gotta come in here and get my reps in. I don't feel good if I don't get on live and talk about what's going on in my brain and say my testimony. I don't feel right. I feel like I didn't achieve nothing today if I don't get on this live and talk to y'all. You know? I really feel like I didn't do anything today if I don't get on here and talk to y'all. You know? That's that. Right now, you know what I mean? This is the only thing I think about when I get off of here and I go read my books and I go out here and work and go make some money and figure out more ways to make money for myself. I think about y'all. I think about YouTube. I think about the people in the chat that was talking to me. You know? That's what I think about. To sit here and be like, dang, I want to know what's going to go, you know what I mean? What's going on with them people. I hope they taking my advice. I hope they really was listening to me, you know what I mean? And taking the knowledge and the courage to actually make something happen for themselves like I'm doing for myself when I'm not on live. You know, I'm working every day to get better, you know what I mean? We're only 1 month into the new year, you know what I mean? They say if you sit there and you dedicate yourself, you can change your life in 6 months. If you just off of pure dedication and discipline, you can change your circumstance in 6 months if you stay focused and you grind and you get busy. So it's like, okay, 6 months, it's January. So 6 months from now is July. I should have 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, you know what I mean? A lot of views on videos, you know, and everything. Like, that's how my life should go in the 6 months from now by me staying focused and doing this. So I already got that mindset and set in my head. And then when that happens, I'm gonna come back to this video and show people like, yo, I said this right here. You know, I said this right here. Like, all I'm doing is speaking everything that I want in existence. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about what I don't see right now. You know what I mean? I'm not worried. I just got a target that I'm aiming for and I'm shooting at that bitch. That's it. I got a target and I'm shooting at it. I'm going to get it. You know what I mean? It's like going to the gun range. You know what I mean? You got to hit that bullseye. That's what I'm doing with my life. Like, my life hasn't been perfect and hasn't been bad, you know what I mean? But I'm going to fix my life like how I really want it to be. Like, I don't want to sit here and ever have to get up for somebody. I don't want to get told what to do. I don't want to not be able to see my kids when they want to see me, you know what I mean? Because I'm too busy doing something for somebody else by working, you know what I mean? I don't want that. I don't want that at all. You know what I mean? I grew up like that. Like, my parents was there, but part of me, they wasn't there for me like how I would want them to be there. You know what I mean? Just in all honesty, like, they raised me and all that, and I love them for that. But they, you know what I mean? They was too busy working. They worked a lot. You know what I mean? Nobody in my family really like took a risk to own their own business. You know what I mean? They was getting told what to do. And I didn't like that. You know what I mean? I didn't like that at all. I don't like when I wanted my parent to like show up somewhere. They said they couldn't do it because they didn't have no PTO. I didn't like that shit. I'm like, damn, you know, like, what you mean? And, you know, so I decided to make a change. Like, I already know what's there for me, you know what I mean? Like, okay, working a job, I understand that's what's there for me, you know what I mean? But this other side, I don't know what's on this other side. So I rather go see what's on that other side than do something that I already know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take a risk and see what's on this other side of that rainbow than sit here and wonder. You know what I mean? And just be stuck on one side and know what's going on. Like, that's why I get on here every day and talk, you know? That's why I get on here and talk. Just to let people know, like, yo, you need to stop being afraid. You need to go take a risk. You need to sit here and change your life. Like, stop being stagnant. Like, you don't know where you can end up with if you say and you have a little bit of faith and you put that work in. You don't know. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I have the potential. The sky's the limit. You know? All I do is sit here and I talk about putting the work in and speaking everything in existence. I always say that because I want to make sure that happens. I don't never want to sit there and not speak positive light into myself, into the universe. But I'm not about to sit there and be around shit that's negative. You know what I mean? Be around people that are negative. Be around areas that are bad. You know what I mean? That's draining me energy-wise. No, I don't want to be around that at all. I've been around that too long, you know what I mean? I've been around that. That's been my whole environment, you know what I mean? Yeah, I survived that environment, you know what I mean, by being around that, but I don't want to be around that no more. It's like, damn, I got high hopes and dreams that I want to achieve in myself. Well, shit, it's a new year. Let's make it happen. I've been talking about it. Now I stopped talking about it. Now it's time to put that action in. Now it's time to put that work in. That's it. That's all it is. I gotta be God. I gotta go put that work in. I gotta create my own world that I wanna live in. That's what I gotta do. That's what you should do. Change your destiny. Create the world that you wanna live in. A lot of us is not living in nice worlds, bro. We're not in good environments. We're not in good areas. We're like in fucked up environments. We're around fucked up circumstances, man. But we think it's cool. We think that's normal, but that's not normal. Struggling is not normal. Yeah, we know a lot of people that are struggling and we see it a lot. Yeah, but that's not normal. You shouldn't want to struggle. You shouldn't want to accept that. You should want better for yourself. You should strive every day to be better than yourself. You know what I mean? Just think of it. Just think about it. A lot of people that are the richest, they was poor. They couldn't stand being poor. So they went out and took a risk and they became successful. That's what they did. That's what I'm doing. That's what I want you to do. Like, take time out your day, man. Create a plan and just shoot off with it, bruh. Just shoot off with it. You don't know what can happen. You know, I'm on here. I'm just shooting off the hip. I'm just out here going about my day, getting on live, talking to y'all, seeing what I look like, and just vibing out, bro. Being myself, being authentic. Like, ain't no fabrication in me. Nothing. I just showed y'all what I got in my house on this live before, because somebody asked, you know what I mean? There's no embarrassing to showing y'all what I got, you know what I mean? In all honesty, like I said, I'm not rich, bro. I'm not broke either. You dig what I'm saying? I'm cool, but I want to be better. I don't want to be cool no more. I don't want to be stagnant, you know what I mean? I want better for myself. And this is the year that I gave myself to, like, yo, I'm really going to put that work in and do what I got to do for myself, bro. I'm about to change my future. I'm about to change my life. I want to change my family life. I want to change y'all lives, you know what I mean, by giving y'all the testimony, giving y'all the blueprint to follow, you know what I mean? But follow it in your own way, but use it as a guide map. That's it, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, that you got to take certain things that people use as a guide map. Don't do it play by play. Because people gonna understand, like, oh man, he reading from that playbook. That's predictable. No, take certain things, take certain templates from what somebody does and create it your own way and vibe out and rock out and make your money, change your life. You know what I mean? Face your fears. Whatever you want to sit here and do, you really can do it. Like, as cliche as that sound, bro, like, you know, you hear that, you be like, that everybody says that, whatever, whatever. But no, like, just do it. Go ahead and do it. Like, what are you afraid of? I know what you're afraid of. You think you're gonna fail, but who cares? You think people are gonna talk bad about you. Who cares? People are talking about people regardless. There's broke people talking about rich people. Come on, bro. That never made sense to me. You broke and struggling, and you talking about a rich person. Like, what? You can barely pay your rent, like your lights and all that. Barely can feed your family, feed yourself, put food in your stomach and whatever. And you talking about somebody that don't got a care in the world. So people are always gonna talk, man. You think I care if somebody sees this video that know me in real life and they try to say something about me? I don't give a, I give 2 fucks what they say about me. I could care less. You see that I'm trying to do something different. I'm not trying the norm. I'm trying something different. I'm doing things that's different from my environment. There's nobody in my city that I know that's actually streaming. In all honesty, you know what I mean? There's nobody around my age group that I know that's streaming, that's popular and trying to make something happen. No, a lot of people are doing drugs, working a job, or just bums. So I already know what my life could be like, you know? I just gave y'all the circumstances. And a lot of y'all people got them circumstances too. That's what I know is for sure that can happen to me. I could be in that type of, you know what I mean, that area, that type of zone. I don't know where I could be in this YouTube world. I don't know what I could be in this. So I'd rather jump in this field and do this than worry about what I know is what's there for me. You know, this is a whole nother world. This is something that I don't know what can go on, but I've seen potential of what it can become. I see it's kind of exceeding my expectation of what I really thought before. So it's like, damn, if certain things that happen that I didn't know that can happen on here, sky's the limit. You know? For real, like, I didn't know that I could sit here and get subs and all that, you know? I was like, man, maybe people might not tune in, but then I had to snap that fucking thought out my head to be like, do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, confidence is key. I know I'm a confident dude. Like, so I had to snap that thought out my whole process. I'm like, yo, you gonna go into this YouTube world and you gonna get busy. That's what I sat there and told myself. You're going to get into this YouTube world and you're going to get busy and people are going to like you for you because you're yourself. You're not trying to be nobody else. You can only be you. You're not a You're not a carbon copy. You're not a plant. You're Danilo. And can't nobody have your thought process. Nobody has lived your life. Nobody has done and seen what you've seen so you can speak about it. Nobody's read the books that you've read. You know what I mean? You have to, there's many things that accumulated me into making me, you know? So why not get into this lane? Why not? Why not get into this lane? Why not see what's going on, bro? Let's see. At least I can sit there and say, I tried it. I got into it. I didn't just try it one time. I tried it multiple times. And I'm getting better at it every day. I got people coming in, tuned in, receiving views every day. You know, that's more than I can ask for right now. You know what I mean? There's baby steps, you know, there's baby steps to this. And you gotta, you know what I mean, take the small steps until you get to where you wanna go. So that's all I'm sitting here doing. You know, I'm not worried about nobody else. I'm only worried about what I can do, what I could become. Because I know what's going on in my city and what I could become there. And I don't want to be involved in none of that. I could easily be outside doing things that it's the wrong things, you know? I could easily do that. I could easily do negative stuff. I could easily do that. But no, this is the time for me to do what I want to do, what I've set out for myself trying to do. What I told myself, I want to try to do this, you know, and now I'm doing it. I put the work in. You know what I mean? There was a time earlier, bro, when I used to talk on live. I'm telling you, y'all can go back to my live, bro. I was kind of fumbling on my words when I was talking. I really was. It was really weird for me. But now it's sitting here, it ain't. It's kind of normal, you know what I mean? It's normal. I'm just talking to you. It's like talking on the FaceTime. It ain't really nothing to really be worried about or, you know what I mean, feel weird or nothing like that, you know what I mean? And it's normal to tell people, yo, hit that like button. Yo, sub if you're new. You know what I mean? Share, you know? It don't cost nothing for you to like, share, and subscribe. It don't cost you nothing. Let's vibe out, you know what I mean? There's people that don't want to say that. They're afraid to say that. Now I'm not afraid to say that. Like, yo, like, share, subscribe if you're new. You know? You gotta understand, like, you gotta be your number one fan before somebody else is. You gotta be your number one supporter before somebody else is. You know what I mean? You gotta support your campaign. This is my campaign. You know what I mean? This is me. This is my channel. This is my world. These are my thoughts. These are my views. This is everything that I'm telling you and talking about from me, my point of view. Nobody else has given me a script to read. This is me. What I've gone through, what I've seen. You know what I mean? All the information and life experiences that I've accumulated. This is me. You know? So you got to understand that this is lovely to do this. You know? This was lovely. It's lovely to get on here and talk and vibe out with people. That's that. You know? I got goals to reach on here. You know what I mean? Like this month, I want 200 subs. I want 200 subs. I want a core fan base. You know? But I gotta put in that work every day. You know? I gotta put in that work every day. There's a lot of normal people in this world, man. I'm showing y'all, it's cool to be normal. It's cool to be normal, bro. It's cool to be yourself, whatever you are. It's cool to be that. It's cool to not to be, you know what I mean? It's cool to stand out, bro. You know? I'm a lone wolf. I'm alone, you know what I mean? I'm sitting here talking to y'all. Y'all my friends, y'all my family, and this is what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I'm just talking to y'all. That's that. This is what I'm doing, you know? It's comfortable, you know what I mean? It's a safe space, you know? That's what it is with me. That's what it is, bruh. It's really like a safe space, man. And I gotta, you know what I mean, go about it. Gotta go about my life on changing it. And y'all gonna see the change, you know what I mean? And those that's not gonna change, you can't be around me. You know? Like today, there was nobody sitting here right now, you know what I mean? I ain't have no ghost punks talking crazy to me today, you know what I mean? But I like when them people come to the chat and talk crazy to me. You know? Cause it's like, you really showing love. You really showing love, you know? And I appreciate that love that you showing, you know what I mean? I show love, like, to everybody, you know? Genuine love. Like, I don't care that you have something that I don't have. That don't make me look at you like, yo, I want to come take that, or why does that person have that? No. I don't look at that at all. I look at it like, oh, that's motivation. Like, if that person has it, that means I can get it. Like, what? Man, I ain't none of that, bro. I am not no foo-foo at all. I don't know where you got that from. I'm not that at all, you know what I mean? If that's what you are, that's what you are. But no, I like women. I love women. That's all I deal with. That's all I'm surrounded by. You'll never catch me doing none of that. If you do, you can, you know what I mean? I don't know what that was. Nah, not at all. Appreciate the joke. Not at all, brother. This is me. This is about me, about my life, about what's going on in the world. Oh yeah, appreciate it, Sarah. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate it. I appreciate it if you do that for me. Yeah. I really appreciate it if you do that for me, sweetheart. But yeah, you know, you gotta sit here and understand, bruh. Life is what you really make it, man. If you sit there and sit on the sideline, bruh, you're never gonna achieve nothing. If you sit there and stay stagnant on what you're around, you're never gonna achieve nothing. All those little dreams and goals that you have is never gonna be achieved because you're worried about leaving people behind. You're afraid to take a risk. You know, you're afraid of judgment. You know, I ain't afraid of nothing. I ain't got no fear of nothing. I'm not afraid of nobody in real life, and I'm damn sure not afraid of nobody in the cyber world. And you can't touch me? Why would I be afraid of somebody that can't physically touch me? All you can do is type words. Wow. That's all you can do is type words. I'm not, you know, there's nothing, that's it. All I'm doing is reading what you say and I'm going about my life. I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna crack jokes. I'm gonna clown you. I'm not gonna block you. I ain't gonna do that. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? You really a fan. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Your haters are your biggest fans, bro. Your haters are really your biggest fans. So don't never block them. Let them see you shine, you know, because you really are the sun. So you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta shine on them. That's all I'm doing. I'm shining on you. You know what I mean? I'm not better than you and I'm not looking down on you, but I am gonna shine. You're not gonna block me. You're not gonna block my blessings. You're not gonna kill my energy. You're not gonna kill my confidence. You ain't gonna do none of that. You know what I mean? You gotta have, I'm too seasoned in the game. Like, I've lived too long. I've been around real things. I've been around real circumstances. This internet shit is not extreme. It's all wrestling. Now, I'm not saying it can't get real off of what you're saying off the internet, but in reality, this shit is wrestling. It's not real. WWE, bruh. I don't take nobody on here serious. Once I get off of this live, then I'm back in the real world. But all this cyber, this ain't real to me. You know? There's nothing, you know, there's nothing to be afraid of in this world, when especially in the cyber, you know? So I just come on here and show y'all me. Some of y'all gonna rock with it, some of y'all not. That's okay. I'm not begging nobody to be cool with me. I'm not begging nobody to mess with me. That's something I don't do at all. You mess with me because it's genuine and that's it. I mess with somebody because it's genuine and that's it. I'm not never begging nobody to mess with me. I don't need nobody to be around me because I asked them to be around me. No, you're around me because you love me and I'm around you because I love you. You know what I mean? That's it, that's all. The people that are supporting this live, you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. Y'all family. You know what I mean? Y'all family to me. Y'all give me the strength to get on here every day. You know, I think about y'all when I'm not on the live. You know, I think about just chopping it up and seeing how y'all doing. That's, you know what I mean? That's the vibes that I'm sitting here giving to y'all and y'all giving to me. Like, y'all gave me 9 likes today. I appreciate that. You know, it didn't cost nobody nothing to hit that like button. I asked and y'all did it. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? That's it, man. It's all about good energy. I'm out here giving out good energy and good work out here. You know, genuine. Like I said, learn how to turn your hobbies into money. That's all you need to do. Learn how to turn your hobbies into money. That's all I'm doing. That's all I want to do. I don't want to ever sit here and work a job, or do any type of work that is work. Like, I want to do something that where I don't feel time. Like, I've been on here going on 53 minutes. It doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that at all. That means time is just flowing. It's just easy to sit here and do this. You know? Like, that's what people need to sit here and do. Find your hobbies and turn them into money, bruh. And be fearless. That's always, I'm going to preach that. Be fearless. Sit here and do it. You know what I mean? Find the God in you and chase your goals, man. You have 24 hours. If you don't have a job, find out hustles and ways to make money. If you got a job, try to get about that job, man. Use that job to support your hobby and turn that hobby into your job and turn that job into money, bruh. Learn how to turn. That's all you gotta do, man. That's it. That's it, man. Don't be out here begging for don't beg for no supporters. Don't beg for people to help you. Don't beg for nothing, bruh. People can tell when it's genuine. If they really see that you consistent and you really disciplined and you put in that work, people are gonna come and want to support, man. They're gonna want to come and help you, bruh. But you gotta understand, ain't nobody gonna come to save you. You can only save yourself. So if you're not saving yourself, people ain't gonna try to help you. You know what I mean? But you gotta do what you need to do first before somebody else come help you. You know? Before anything, before anybody has come help me, I had to make sure that I was showing them that I can do it alone, and then they wanted to help. They never wanted to just help me when I needed help. You know, they had to see that, oh, well, he believes in it, and since he believes in it, he's showing that he believes in it. Yeah, I like him. I'll show support. I'll help him. You know. Other than that, ain't nobody gonna just get out their way and just help somebody. Hell no. Nobody wants to see nobody do better than the next person. But you do got genuine people that's willing to help people. And if I can help anybody, I'll help them. If you can help me, you know? But I'm not asking nobody for anything. You know? It's a mutual agreement. That's all it is with me. You know? That's all it is with me. We got like 5 more minutes of the live, and then I'm going to cut it short. But, you know, because I didn't hit my hour. You know what I mean? I didn't did my reps. You know? I got 5 more minutes on here. And then I'll be back tomorrow. But, you know, I was sitting there, like I said, man. To change your lifestyle, you don't really need a lot of people. You know? You don't need a lot of people. You need at least 1,000 people, bro. 500 people. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Right now, I got close to like maybe 170 subs, you know? And that's crazy. And I'm nobody. Like, you know what I mean? I came into this YouTube space off of my own work. Nobody shouted me out. I did this myself. You know what I mean? I did this myself. So I'm telling you, you can do the exact same thing. I'm not doing nothing extreme and nothing special, nothing different. So eventually, these people that are supporting me now is going to increase to the number that I needed to increase, and they're going to help change my life. And I'm going to help them in return. That's what I'm sitting there trying to tell you. That's all you need. You need you about 500 to 1,000 people, mainly 1,000 core people, supporters, and you can change your life, and then you can go from there. You know, you don't need 1 million people to make $1 million. You don't. You don't need 1 million people to make $1 million. So when I get off of this live, you know, I'm going to keep doing some research, keep thinking of more avenues to make more money, and look up more information. Excuse me, hold on. Pardon me. Look up more information to offer you guys to make things better. That's all I'm going to sit here and do. I'm just doing God's will, man. I'm sharing the information. That's all I'm sitting there doing, sharing the information. I learned some new information yesterday. I came on my live today to share with y'all that you don't need a lot of people to live a good life, bro. You don't. You need a sustainable amount of people, like 500 to 1,000, to change your life, preferably 1,000, to really, you know what I mean, do an impact in changing your life, bro. That's it. That's it, man. So figure out what you want to do and go do it. Stop stalling. There's 24 hours out the day, bro. There's 24 hours out the day. You need to sit here and do it. Don't be afraid. Don't look for no type of, you know what I mean, nobody to save you. Don't look for somebody to shout you out. No. Get in the trenches and put that work in, bruh. Get them reps in. You want to start a podcast? Start it. Just talk. If nobody listens, just keep doing it. You know what I mean? Keep doing it. Don't, you know what I mean? Whatever you want to do. To make it in this world, we need systems and platforms. A platform is YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. A system is like PayPal, whatever type of stores, you know what I mean, them e-commerces where you can sell something and you can make money during your sleep. You need those two things to make money. You have them, you're going to win. You're going to win. Be genuine, show love, you know what I mean, be positive, have faith in yourself and have faith in God, you know what I mean, and always work. Wake up, work out, work for yourself. Always, you know, that's what you need to focus on. Use your time wisely. You know what I mean? Digest the right information. Feed yourself the right information to change your life. Stop feeding it that negative bullshit. Stop feeding it. You know what I mean? Change your environment. You know? That's what you need to do. But I got like 10 seconds left in this, but, you know, I'm about to be out of here. You know what I mean? This is the Danilo Too Smooth. I'm on here another day. Another live has went by, man. An hour has gone by. I done talked. I done chopped it up with y'all. I done gave y'all some game. I love y'all. I really love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. I tell you this all the time, but I love y'all. I appreciate the people that came in the chat again. I appreciate the people that supported me. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. Y'all give me strength. Y'all give me energy. Y'all give me power. I appreciate y'all. But this is Danilo. I love y'all. I'm gone.